You're listening to the Motivated Mindset Podcast with Bobby Stein.
Hello, guys, and welcome into another episode of the Motivated Mindset Podcast. And today's episode comes to you from, as always, sunny Southwest Florida, where it is a Saturday afternoon. I hope your weekend's going well. Hope the week that you just had was wonderful. My week, not so hateful, but nothing that Monday morning can't address. So this episode as well is also brought to you by our friends at Von Barron Motorcycle. Be sure to give them a visit at vonbarronmotorcycles.com. You'll be happy you did. Thank you for your support, Von Barron. Much appreciated. Today I wanted to talk about, did you ever when you were a little kid and somebody on the playground or in school or wherever, they might have called you a name or said something derogatory towards you, and you went home to your parents and you said, Mary Jane said this or Johnny said that, and it really upset me. And they would say, don't be silly, just, remember, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. And I'd be like, well, how come it hurts so bad? And I've come to find out, as I've grown older and reflected on that statement, sticks and stones can in fact break your bones, but words can devastate you. They can really, words are power. Words are strength. Words shape opinions. They've formed governments. They've created countries. They dictate the market, the economic scenario on Wall Street. Words are powerful. They're strong. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. So very, very powerful how we perceive words, how they play into our daily experience. Have you ever had an authority figure, for instance, tell you, give you a word, or a coach or somebody, and it's stuck with you for your entire life? And that person may not even be on the planet anymore. They may have passed away, yet they still have an impact. The words that they used in your life have an impact. I remember my mother said to me when I was 13 years old, she said, I was being inconsiderate and unaware, and she said, Bobby, you're so selfish. And I was like, wow. And she said it 3 times, and she said it with feeling and emotion, so it really hit home. And I knew that I had to address that consideration aspect of my life, be more aware, because I didn't want the connotation of being selfish, man. Selfish is no good, right? And words, though, are insidious. They go on all around us. The language, in the sentence, the spoken word, the written word, phrases. I remember my grandmother would say to me, she'd say, Bobby, you can do anything you put your mind to. And I was like, anything? I mean, it seemed like a tall task, but she would insist, and she'd repeat that quite often. As well as when I'd have an issue with a puzzle, or I was faced with a challenge or a problem, she says, just use your imagination. Just use your imagination. So it served me well, in my experience, because whenever I come across an insurmountable scenario, I always remember that I can do anything I put my mind to. Anything. And if I get into a jam, I can use my imagination to help find the solution. So it's very good. Words are powerful like that. The media certainly understands the power of words and imaging and feelings and emotion, and they play on words. They manipulate phrases and sentences to get us to buy their product, to get us to sway. Political opponents will use words against one another. They'll use it in the media to sway a voter's opinion and choice to vote. Words are everything in that regard. But moreover, what about the words that we use internally to ourselves? Self-talk is incessant. It goes on 24/7, regardless of how we try to stop it. We can't. It's natural. It's as natural as breathing or our heartbeat. From the time we're born until the time we pass away. When we rise in the morning, all the way through to the end of the day, we lay our heads down on the pillow, and then even past that into our dreams. So we have to be very mindful of what we're thinking about, what we're saying to ourselves. Words paint pictures, and words felt with emotion go down deep into our subconscious mind and impress. And what's impressed on the subconscious mind will find ways and means to express those words, those thoughts, especially when they're said with feeling and emotion behind them. So whenever we talk to ourselves, it's wise that we be mindful at the gate of our mind to look and see, is that a good word? What I'll do a lot of times is I'll use affirmations just because they're positive and they keep me focused. Words and affirmations such as, I have a lavish, dependable, steady income, consistent with integrity and mutual benefit. And that really, isn't that cool? What gets better than that, right? I have a lavish, dependable, steady income. Well, what gets better than that is it's done and it's implied into my self-talk that it's done with integrity and mutual benefit. So it's a win-win for the party that I'm engaging with and myself. So I have a lavish, dependable, and steady income consistent with integrity and mutual benefit. When I get anxious or keyed up or angry, or I'll often use words like I have peace of mind. I enjoy the work that I do. I always have a positive mental attitude. I have material riches of my own choice and quantity. My life is full of loving relationships and healthy relationships. So I am free from the grip of worry and fear. That's a big one. I use that often. And those words, when meditated on and sink them down, I impress them into myself and stew on them and steep in them. I'll tell you, it makes all the difference in my outer expression. And I like to weigh the scales and have an advantage. I always look for any advantage I can get. Speaking of words, in athletic events, you'll see oftentimes opponents trash talking one another to antagonize and get under the other's skin, to take them off of their game. I remember when I was racing motorcycles, I get keyed up, right? So I'd be like all tensed up, and I would use a one-word mantra throughout the course of the race. It may be calm, it may be poised, it may be relax, and over incessantly. And then by doing that, it's like medicine. It's like a slow drip. I would literally calm down and relax. But I had to employ that tool to really benefit and get the most out of the race. So, words have started riots. They can create peace. They can create harmony. Words are very, very powerful in our experience, and that's why we need to pay attention to them. What we expresses. So sticks and stones may break our bones, but words can definitely hurt or help us. So the choice is ours, right? And I hope this word has been an encouragement and maybe given you a little insight. So many words and thoughts swirl around our head. I think there's an estimated 60,000 thoughts a day that we have. Well, number one, I want to find out, how do you figure that out? But if that's the case, and words and thoughts and feelings are more or less synonymous, we have to be really careful, because those words are insidious. They're going on, like I said, at all time. We want to tip the scales in our favor and have influence over our experience, and make it a happy, joyous, or the one in which we desire, the desired outcome we wish to see fulfilled. That is key. That is important. And hope this word once again was an encouragement to you all. So, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for your ear. Thanks for listening. And until next time, please take good care and say a kind word.